Hey, what's up, y'all? It's your boy Young T. Centering an element in HTML and CSS is really simple. You can just use either margin auto or text align center, just like this. But if you see, in this case, it only centers the element horizontally. What if we want to center the element both horizontally and vertically to its parent element? Well, there are actually three methods that we can implement, and those are by using grid, flexbox, transform, translate. So by default, the HTML gives some paddings and margins to every element. So in order to remove that, we can use asterisk. It reverts to every element in the document, and then we set the margin to 0, padding to 0, and additionally box sizing into water box so that there will be no more margin padding by default. Actually, this image is not transparent. The background of this image is white, and the background of the document is white as well. So to make it clear, I will set the background of the body into dark gray so that you can see the size, the height, and the width of the image. And firstly, I'm gonna start with the grid. So I want to center the image, and this is the image tag. And then I have the parent element. So we are gonna put the properties, the grid properties, into the parent element. In this case, the parent element of my image is div with a class of center. So I'm gonna go for the center class, display grid, and simply place items center. It won't work. Why? It also applies to Flexbox. When you want to structure your elements horizontally or vertically, you need to know its value. Like by default, every element in HTML has the width of 100%. That's why the CSS know that it should be at the 50% point of the width. But by default, the height of each element is following its exact height, exact size of the element. And in order to clarify the height, in order to tell HTML or CSS that this particular element has X height, then just go on set the height manually. Height, I'm gonna say 100 VH, and boom, right at the center. And keep in mind, don't you skip these properties, because if it's gone, take a look. There'll be a bit of overflow right here, because like I said, by default, HTML gives each element default padding and margins. So this is a must, otherwise the result won't be perfect. See, this is right at the middle. And now let's go for the flex box. Play, flags, justify content, center, align items, center. It works the same, and it's obviously still in the middle because it works the same. And then if we remove the height, it'll also work the same. So the same thing happened. You need to specify the height in order to put it in the center. But actually, it depends on the parent element. Sometimes you don't want to put it in the center of the body, but you want to put a center in a particular parent element. But it doesn't really matter. We are here to understand the concept. Now, for the last method, transform, translate. Transform, translate. Oh, wait. Before we go to that, actually, this method needs another properties up 50%, left 50%, and most importantly, precision should be absolute so that it'll go away, it won't be relative to its parent element. And now in a translate, we can go for minus 50% and minus 50%. This is for the x and y axis. Oh, it's right in the middle. But with this method, you might gonna have a multiple layers go on top or below each other. Why? Because the position is absolute. So it means its position, it's in individual. So that if you put any element right around the image, they might be stacking. So this way, I don't recommend you to use this method. But if you really need it, like in some cases you might urgently need it, it doesn't matter. You can just do it. But I suggest you use either grid or flexbox. Me personally, I mostly use Flexbox because I'm used to it. And yes, with transform translate, you don't need to specify the height. It doesn't need to depend on the parent element. Independent. I found a lot of beginners stuck at this problem. I hope your problems are solved too by watching this video. It's your boy Young Tech. Thanks for watching. See you guys in the future videos. Thank you.